Hi, dear Africa Business Jumpstarters, a very warm welcome to my short training on how to start an African business in 5 steps in less than 3 months. So just wanted to say, yesterday evening, we had a live session on that topic where I shared my 3 months blueprint with you, the Africa Business Jumpstart community. We had 350 people live in the room, but we had a few technical hiccups. And so I just decided to do the entire recording again and let you and a lot more people have access to it. So we'll dive straight into it. I want to give you a little bit of context before I start. And that is, why did I come up with the 3-month success blueprint? Why do I think of getting to your success faster? And the reason really is because when we are looking at today's world, we have a lot of insecurities. People are facing losing their jobs. People are looking for a plan B in Africa, an alternative to the West. People are tired and burned out, and they're looking for ways to gain control of their own lives financially and also in regards to creating more time freedom. So that is really the context where I thought, okay, what is the fastest way I can think of starting a business in Africa? And that's what I'm going to present to you right now. So let me share my screen with you. And I want to start with showing you real-time examples how you can start your own business very fast in 3 steps. And then I will move on to giving you the overview of the entire blueprint. So again, a very warm welcome to Dr. Harnet's 3 months business success blueprint. I want to show you how you can start making money in Africa with the least amount of time, cost, and risk involved. Well, here is what really costs us a lot of time, money, and where we face a lot of risk. And that is all African business models that need anything such as land, machinery, equipment, ingredients, material, a warehouse or an office, a property, construction work, products that you have to ship around, permits, approval of government offices, where things have to be traded and shipped through ports, or even where you really need to build a website in order to start your business. So most business models, be it traditional business models in traditional African industries, or just any kind of business, usually requires one or more of these aspects. And these are the aspects that take a lot of time, especially in the context of doing business in Africa. They're capital intensive, and they're also much riskier because you depend on a lot of moving factors. But what if we could strip all of that away? Instead, you could save a lot of risk factors. You could save a lot of money and a lot of time, since we are talking about a blueprint where you can make money in less than 3 months. And that is by applying step number 1, choosing a knowledge-based business. So the essence of the 3 months blueprint is to build an African business around your knowledge, around the skill sets you have, around your expertise or your experiences. That is the asset in your head. You don't need to ship or order ingredients, machinery, equipment. You do not need to get government permits for that. Of course, you need to set up a business, but you do not need construction permits, import permits, and you name it, because your knowledge, your expertise and experience is what will be the product you're going to sell. So you have to then start with the question, What knowledge, skill, expertise, or experience do I have that could be of great importance, of great relevance to a certain industry in Africa? And I want to give you an overview of some knowledge, skill, and expertise that you can turn into a business. The list I'm sharing with you now is not exhaustive, but I just want to give you some insights of what that could entail. Number one, customer service training. I know many of you have experience in that. You could have marketing and sales skills. Maybe you're a digital marketer and that is your expertise. What about you're a cybersecurity expert and you have gained years of knowledge in that field? You could be providing valuable services to startups. Or what about your interior design talent? You may be an architect and you have skills to put architectural 3D designs together. Maybe you're a realtor or you have extensive real estate experience anywhere in the world. Maybe you are a farm manager, you were a farmer yourself, or you studied agriculture for many years, and that's your expertise. Maybe you have landscaping skills where you can turn gardens or landscapes into beautiful spaces. You may be a software development expert, or you have specific trade knowledge. Maybe you know how to trade with the United States or with the EU or the United Kingdom after Brexit. You may be an expert in public relations, or you have amazing networking skills where you have access to networks and groups. You may be a great writer. You could create amazing content, or you have writing skills that could be of great use to companies in Africa. Maybe you're a videography expert who loves to shoot amazing marketing videos, or you have how-to skills in a particular area. You may have particular investment knowledge. Maybe you're a graphic design expert, or that's just what you love doing and you're very, very good at it. You may be a fitness expert or a personal trainer, or a health consultation expert. Maybe you're in the medical field and that's where your expertise is. Or you're just interested in becoming an affiliate partner, selling someone else's products. So while this may not be a specific expertise, you could be selling someone else's product, meaning that they are dealing with the permit, the access to land, the construction, the shipping of ingredients, machinery to actually manufacture those products. You then just take a ready product and find the market and the buyers for those products. So as you can see, there's a whole range of skills and expertise that can be of great value to the emerging markets in Africa. And you can add many more to the list. So start with the question, what skill, what knowledge, what expertise, what experience do I have that could be of great relevance? Step two then is that you choose the best product market match. So remember, as I said, your skill, your knowledge is your product. You now need to make sure that you match that with the perfect industry, in fact, with the perfect niche in an industry. Someone who will take great pleasure in taking up your offer, someone who finds what you have to offer very relevant to their undertaking. So here's the product. Your next step is you have to find the right market, the right fit for your product. And I really want to share with you how important that is. Let's take a very obvious example. Let's say you have a Lamborghini and that's your product you want to sell. And then let's say you have a group of people who are working in a food bank or who are attending a food bank. You won't sell your Lamborghini with people who are working in a food bank. That is common sense. And I'm taking a very extreme example here, but I want to really, for the message to hit home. If you have a mismatch and you're offering something that is not relevant to the group you're offering it to, then you have a very weak product market match, and therefore you cannot sell. You cannot sell if you have a mismatch. These people working in a food bank or attending a food bank are not looking for a Lamborghini. They do not have the money for it, and they have other priorities and urgent aspects that are relevant and important to them right now. And therefore, you have a mismatch. Now, while this example may look very extreme and like the obvious, you will be surprised how many people do not understand why they're not selling. And the reason why they're not selling is because they have a mismatch. And of course, the fact that they have a mismatch may not be as obvious as this example. And therefore, many people do not realize they have a mismatch. So let's see how you can create a stronger match between your product, which is your knowledge and your skill and expertise, so you and the demand in the market, so you can sell easier. Because the stronger your match is, the easier will it be for you to sell. Let's use the example of landscaping. You have landscaping skills and experiences, and you would like to make use of that to start a business in less than 3 months in the context of Africa. So instead of just going out there and saying, well, you know, I can do your gardening, maybe you're bumping into neighbors or foreigners who own houses, and you're just offering randomly your service to them. Instead of doing that, match your landscaping skill with newly established family-owned hotels that are looking for landscapers because they have just finalized constructions or they're just in business very recently. And for them, having a beautiful and attractive landscape or garden is a must to attract their clients and customers and to have good reviews. So here you have a high relevance. A hotel has, first of all, the spending power to pay you for your landscaping skills. But on top of that, a hotel sees the relevance of your skills and therefore is prepared to pay you for that. You may have real estate experience. Maybe you're a realtor somewhere else in the world. Well, instead, again, of just saying, you know, I have a real estate skills and I'm trying to sell houses in Africa to kind of anyone who wants to buy, approach existing real estate agencies who want to attract the diaspora. So real estate agencies in Africa that are well established, of course, have a lot of houses, land in their portfolio, and they want to sell more of that. Very often they will find that the local marketing they do in their own city or country is kind of limited, and they have exhausted that market. They're looking for new groups that they can sell to. What about you coming in with your real estate experience, but now being a member of the diaspora, you may also have the access to networks in the US, in the UK, or anywhere else, people who are looking to invest in homes in Africa, people who are looking to buy their own house. And you are the one who can be the bridge and the missing link in that. And by offering that to real estate agencies or real estate developers who want to sell their units, you are now powerful positioned, and therefore your skill and knowledge as a realtor is of great value. Let's say you have farm management expertise. Maybe you have worked in an agricultural context in Africa for many years. Instead of just offering your farm management skills to just kind of anyone or any farmer, match your skills with commercial farms that are already producing for export. Why is that a good match? Because these are well-established commercial farms, but on top of that, they're producing for export, meaning that they have really a high need for good quality and efficiency. Otherwise, their exports, their products cannot compete in international markets. And therefore, they will see a high value in the farm management skills you have, especially if you can bring on board some international aspects to improve standards. And I can tell you, efficient farm management is a major challenge for any commercial farmer here in Africa. Maybe you have videography skills. So instead of just offering anyone who wants a good video your skills, match your skills with tour agencies or tour operators in Africa who struggle to sell. I'm not talking about startups. I'm talking about well-established tour agencies or tour operators who have been around for years, and they're doing pretty well. However, after the pandemic, tourism and sales has gone down. The market was hit. Maybe the market got hit because there was a terrorist attack. We've seen this in Uganda, in Kenya, where international tourists are staying away. And it could also be that there's only a low season at the moment, and because of the low season, all the tour operators are now struggling to get access to the few tourists that are coming in during the low season. So if you're matching your videography skills with tour agencies or tour operators who are struggling to sell, become an expert in creating amazing, beautiful tour videos that they can use for their marketing, and establish yourself, position yourself and your skill as being the expert, the go-to authority for struggling tour agencies who are looking for beautiful marketing video footage. Maybe you are a customer service expert and you have ample of experience over the last years. Again, instead of just saying I'm offering it to hotels or banks or kind of anyone who needs customer service, why not match your amazing customer service skills with 4-star hotels that have poor service rating online? So these, again, are hotels that have been in business for a while, and they're all over these booking sites, booking.com, hotel.com, Expedia, TripAdvisor, you name them. However, for some reason, that hotel has some kind of poor ratings or some poor feedback in the customer reviews. It's there for everyone to see, it's open out there, and it affects possibly sales. Now, approaching these hotels, even with a kind of a leaflet or a kind of a printout where you say, well, I have reviewed some of the reviews that you have, and I see a weakness in your customer service delivery. I have 10 years, 20 years of experience in customer service, working for hotels and other corporate companies in the UK, and I would like to train your team. That is a strong match. That is a good product market match where you are of high relevance. And you can see with all examples, they're very specific. Therefore, focus on already well-established companies that have a unique challenge. Do not sell to individuals or just people you randomly meet or companies you randomly approach. Approach companies that are well established. They have the spending power. They see the value in what you have to provide in order to make them better companies, in order to improve their sales. Step number 3 in my 3-month success blueprint: create a package, a smart offering. Now, as we said, the product you're selling is your knowledge, your skill, your expertise, your experience. But that is pretty diffuse in your head. It's a pool of information and knowledge that you have. That is not something that you can sell. You now have to go to the next step and package that up. Package it into a smart offering. You can sell a package. Now, let's look what a package would look like. Number 1, we're going to look at the kind of package you want to sell. There's a training package that would be very relevant if you have customer service expertise, you have trade expertise, or you're a fitness trainer. You would package that kind of knowledge into a training package. There's a service package that would be relevant for skills around landscaping, interior design, or farm management. Here you would design a service package that you can offer. And there is a consultation package. Maybe you have knowledge in investment, you have medical expertise, or real estate expertise. That is the kind of knowledge you would put into a consultation package. Your package should also entail high value, and we already touched on that. That is high relevance. It should have a time frame. So if you offer a training package, does your training last half a day, a month? It should also entail cost. And that is important, although, as I'm going to show you, you will actually offer your lean version, a prototype, for free in the beginning. And we're coming to that in a minute. But although you will start with a free offer, I still want you to come up with the cost of your package. First of all, it will show you the value you're really offering when going for free, but it will also show your potential client what they actually would need to pay for it and what they're now getting for free. All right, so that is very, very important to understand. You have to put a value to it. Now, how do you cost your package? Well, it's very difficult for me to say because it really depends on what your expertise is and what your package will look like. But generally, I will tell you not to go towards the cheap end, because when you are offering something of cheap value to a company, they will perceive you as not being maybe very good at what you're offering, or not very experienced, or that your offer is not of high value. So don't sell it at the cheaper end. Sell it always at the higher end. However, in the very beginning, don't go to your absolute high, because you're still trying everything out and you still want to learn. And you also want to have the confidence that if you make mistakes, it's still okay. Again, remember, the most important aspect is that you offer something of high relevance for your target client. Let's move over to step number 4. You have to test your prototype, your package, for free. So what do I mean with that, and why shall you offer it for free? Well, first of all, you want to, in the very beginning, create a track record, a proof of concept. Remember, you're a newcomer to your industry. You're starting a new business. And therefore, you need to create something that gives you a track record and a proof of concept. You're still trying things out. You want to get real feedback and amend and improve your offering through your first experiences delivering that package. When you have created a track record, that means maybe you have now a recording of your training or your consultation. You have images, you have the experiences. You can say, I have trained or consulted XYZ, another company well known in this country or the city that you're working in. You have a proof of concept, and that gives you more confidence. And all of that creates more trust for the next company you're approaching and the next company you're approaching. It will also allow you to get increased confidence because, again, you're doing this probably for the first time in a new market in Africa, and doing it a few times for free, making mistakes probably is okay, and it will increase your own confidence. Furthermore, you're offering value to the marketplace before you're being paid. And that is, a big lesson that we all learn as entrepreneurs. Provide value first before you're getting paid and rewarded for it. Okay, and you may not really know how to do that because you are new to the marketplace, and therefore the best way to do that in the beginning, when you are coming into a new market, is to offer the value for free. You're still giving your best, your best knowledge away, and don't be afraid, by the way, to give it away. You're not giving all of it away because you're testing a prototype, a lean package. So instead of testing a 1 day or a 1 week training, you're maybe giving 4 hours of that training. But while you train, you're giving your best. And the reason why you're giving your best is because you want to provide great value and you want to impress the people that are going to make the decision if they will continue with you. And the other point is that you really want to win some momentum. You want to get the word out about what you're doing. You want to gain confidence for yourself in approaching more and more companies. And that creates momentum. And by the way, if you're offering something of great value, the word in Africa, in a certain city or industry, will spread. Let me share a quick example with you. And I want to show you this image of a team working at a hotel. So it is a real-time example, but this image is just from Google Images. I did not share the real people that were trained, also for privacy purposes. So here is a story, because I want to show you that we have proven the concept and we've proven that it can work very, very fast. During one of my business and investment missions to Africa, in this particular case, we actually visited Ghana. We were coming together as a group to explore investment opportunities. Now, one of our Africa Business Academy members, our ABBA members, who joined the group to Ghana, came to Africa for the very first time. She's never been to Africa. And she told me she wanted to look for customer service opportunities. Now, she had some experience in customer service, but her really key experience was in English teaching, pronunciation, and the English language in communication. That was her strong value that she can offer. And so before we went, she said to me, you know what, I want to look at the business and investment opportunities, but I also want to get some potential clients for my customer service training. So what we did with her before we left to Accra, we actually online prepared her. And I told her to put together a lean version of her training, to put together some slideshows showing some of the best things she can do. And of course, she will be standing, hopefully, in a room at one point to train people in the hotel industry. So we prepared that, and I looked over it and we made some changes. And then we also prepared the sentence, the paragraph that she would say when she approaches hotels, when she walks basically into the reception and say, "Hi, here I am." It's very important that you don't just randomly say anything that comes to your head. You have to use a well-prepared paragraph. Now, we went to Accra, and again, her first time in Africa ever. And to make a long story short, in the first couple of days, we approached some hotels, and she quickly noticed, even in the hotel we are staying at, that people were very softly spoken. And me being here, based here in Kigali, Rwanda, I can truly attest to that. People here in Rwanda are particularly softly spoken, and they speak very quietly. You can sometimes not hear them if they're sitting on the other side of the table. And she noticed that, and she said, "Well, I can't even hear them. I can't even understand them. And that is not how you greet international clients." So we just quickly amended her offering, and she would put the greeting and the pronunciation and the communication, since she was also an English teacher, as one of the core aspects of becoming competitive for international tourism and clients. Again, to make a long story short, we were in Accra for 7 days. In 5 days, after 5 days, she already banked 2 trainings with 2 hotels in Accra. Absolutely amazing. One was a family hotel, and the other one was one of the leading 4-star hotels, maybe it's even a 5-star, I'm not sure, one of the leading hotel chains in Africa, and a very well-known hotel in Accra. And she got a training with them. She was offered to train the staff for free. Well, she made the offer and they accepted. And she trained a total of, between the 2 hotels, of about 30 people. And after that, the leading hotel, the 4-star hotel, said to her, "We loved it very much. Let's meet again to discuss what you can do for us and how we can possibly sign contracts." She actually took a draft contract to them on her last day. Now, guys, again, listen to this. She's never been to Africa. One of the leading hotels wanted to discuss a contract with her, and all of that within 7 days. Absolutely amazing. And I knew that can happen. That's why we prepared. I didn't say, "Oh, we only have 1 week there. I don't think you can sell anything or, make a considerable progress, especially since we have a full schedule." I mean, she was a go-getter, but she was above all well prepared with my guidance. Now, the other thing I want to quickly mention here, because I think it's relevant, we also tried banks. So she would reach out to some banks, and she would also reach out to some hotels. And we quickly noticed that the expression of interest came much easier from the hotels. And therefore, I advised her to drop the banks, to start with that momentum first and become a go-to authority in that regard. And this is what I would advise you as well, the Africa Business Jumpstarters. In the very beginning, whatever skill or expertise you have, you may offer it to 2 or 3 different industries. And that is absolutely fine. Do that for a couple of weeks. But as soon as you realize that one industry is much easier to be accessed and shows expression of interest much faster, drop the other ones. Don't try to juggle them all. Focus and become more relevant to the industry where you have a great response from. I also want to share my own experience. And while that is not an experience based on a particular skill set or a particular set of knowledge, it shows perfectly the concept that I want to present with you today. It shows perfectly how we can make things happen in a very fast amount of time. So I, as you know, also lead an Importing from Africa program. And I was very keen to show our importers that becoming an agent for someone else's products can be done in a very fast matter of time, if in a very short period. Now, as I've mentioned before, I don't have the skill or the expertise, but I had someone else's products. In this particular example, I had gluten-free cassava flour samples from Rwanda, and I had high-end tea from Kenya. So I didn't need the permits, the land, the construction, the ingredients, the machinery, because someone else did all that hassle that is time-consuming and cost-consuming. I'm just taking their products ready, and I take a lean version to sell it to established companies. Well, at the time I was based in Germany, and I reached out to retailers, supermarkets, retailers, bakeries, and so on, that may be interested in the gluten-free cassava flour or in the high-end tea. Without going in much detail, I looked for the right kind of matches. These are companies that were looking for sustainability, making an impact in the world, and so on. And then I made a list in an Excel sheet of all the companies. I then started to reach out to them, first by phone, then by email. And I did the follow-up. Now, here's the thing. I wanted to prove that my concept works. I wanted to prove it with my importers. I was not interested in becoming a trader myself. I just wanted to prove the concept. And therefore, I decided to make time for just a single hour per day during the week, just 1 hour per day. Because I know that many of you are very busy still with their employment and their jobs, and you want to make the transition. So you may not have 5 or 8 hours to spend on that. 1 hour per day. Now listen to this. By being very focused for a single hour per day, after 13 days, I got my first expression of interest for the gluten-free flour from Rwanda, and I got the expression of interest for a well-known family chain of bakeries in Germany. And this bakery also bakes a lot of gluten-free products. They've been established for decades in Germany. On day number 15, so that is just 2 weeks in, on day number 15, I got an expression of interest. Listen to that, from the purchasing department of Rewe. And now I'm starting to speak German. Rewe, for those of you who are in Germany, you know, of course, is a leading supermarket chain in Germany. For those of you outside of Germany, well, it would be the equivalent to Target or Walmart in the US, to Tesco or Sainsbury's in the UK, or to a ShopRite in South Africa. It is one of the leading chains. And actually, when I reached out to them for the first time, because I had never done that, I learned that there are many purchasing departments in Rewe, according to the product. So there's a purchasing department for fruits and vegetables, purchasing department for dairy products, and so on. So the guy in charge of the purchasing department for flours and gluten-free products, gluten-free flour products, was contacting me and saying, we never heard of gluten-free cassava flour. That sounds very interesting to us. We would like to learn more from you. I'm traveling at the moment, but let's get in touch again. At that time, I still remember, he said, let's get in touch again in April. So that was about 6 weeks down the line. Now, again, the stories stopped here because I didn't want to go into trade. I didn't want to become a trader and then have that responsibility. All I wanted to do is to prove the concept. And when you have a great product market match and you have a lean version of something, a training program, you know, I had samples, that's also a lean version, and you say the right thing, that's very important. You have to communicate why your match is relevant. They cannot guess. You have to communicate that clearly when you talk to them, when you meet them in Africa, or when you are writing an email. And when you do that well and you do it right, you will sell fast and easily. Step number 5 then, dear Africa Business Jumpstarters, my last step, marketing, marketing, marketing. So we're now in month 3, and I'm going to show you the blueprint in an overview in a minute. But in month 3, I really just want you to focus on marketing. That means I want you to go out there with your lean product and offer it for free. And then when you have some expression of interest to go further with your training, with your consultation, then of course, or your service offering, then of course, you will introduce your real package at the real cost. And you may have, by the way, 2 or 3 of those packages. You may have a 1-day consultation package, and you may have a 1-month consultation package. You may have a 1-week training package, or you may have a monthly or a 1-day training package. All right. So have 2 or 3 packages, not too many. So in month 3, I want you to ask 1 potential client per day, just 1 client per day. That means in month 3, you will get 20 to 30 relevant clients to whom you can make an offer. If you can make more per day, let's say you're reaching out to 5 potential clients per day, well, you will have just reached out to 150 clients. You will see a momentum fast when you are that focused. I also want you to reach out to 2 stakeholders or partners in your industry for networking. So let's say 2 per week in the 3rd month. That means 8 relevant partners in that month. And why I suggest that is when you reach out to players in your industry, relevant partners, for example, you know, you want to do landscaping or real estate consultation, reach out to the Association for Real Estate Developers or the Association for Farm Management or a certain membership group or a certain network where you find those partners, those stakeholders, and reach out to them because they have valuable advice, they have valuable insights, and they can make referrals. You can also say, remember about the trust, you can also say, oh, I met with the Association for Real Estate Developers, and they suggested that I do ABC. By just mentioning that you had a meeting with them, you're already establishing trust in a new market. That's it, dear Africa Business Jumpstarters. That is the, the blueprint. And now what I'm doing in real time, I don't know when you're watching this, but I have decided that I'm really rolling this out in my Africa Business Academy. We are working with 20 very committed volunteers, I should say, go-getters in my Africa Business Academy, where I walk them through this for 3 months. I'm going to hold their hand and I'm going to walk them through this for 3 months. And you can join our Africa Business Academy. I will tell you how in a minute, where you do what I just showed you with my real-time guidance. But before I do, I want to actually quickly share with you the overview of the blueprint. So let me just switch quickly my screen. All right. So just very briefly, we said in week number 1, and I'm going to give you the timeline now. In week number 1, select a knowledge-based business based on your skills, your experience, your expertise. In week 2 to 3, I want you to just focus on finding the market product match. Ideally, you would be traveling to Africa to find a powerful market niche where your product, your knowledge becomes very relevant. In week number 4, I want you to create a package, an offering. As I said, you have to package your knowledge up into a product that you can actually sell. Create an attractive package or offering for a particular niche. Yes, you may test several niches or industries in the beginning, but once you realize you have much better expression of interest from one market, drop the other for the time being. That was the very first month. Now going into the second month, I want you to just test your package for free. Test a lean version, a lean prototype, get real feedback in real time and add more value, improve your offering. That's all I want you to do in month number 2. Now, ideally in month number 3, you would already get expression of interest for your real training, your real consultation, and you can then implement that. But month 2 and 3 are kind of overlapping. You will continue to test your package for free with new clients while you may already be starting to implement your real offering with clients who have already expressed interest in taking this further. All right, so here you go. This is my 3 months Africa success blueprint for you. And you can go and run with it, or you can join our Africa Business Academy, where we are really training go-getters, and we're consulting people in the diaspora, people in Africa who want to implement those kind of business strategies, those kind of business models in real time, and I am walking them through it. So you will basically have someone who will hold you by your hand, and anytime where you have a question or you are encountering a challenge, or you don't know what your next step is, or you don't know if you're making the right paragraph, the right introduction to a company, or you're not quite sure which niche or which offering would be a strong product market match, I support you and show you how to do that in real time in our Africa Business Academy. And you will find a link to our Africa Business Academy below, but I quickly want to share a few words about that group. You see, the majority of businesses in Africa are failing. Not just in Africa, across the world. But when you add the complexity of Africa's emerging markets to it, then the risk of failure becomes even bigger. So we are looking at an 80% failure rate by and large across Africa in the first 3 to 5 years. The majority of businesses actually fails in the first 3 years. Now, out of the few that are surviving, let's say, all right, 20% are surviving. So you may be among those 20. Well, guess what? Among those 20% that are surviving, the majority of them is struggling. And the reason is because, in my view, people are just going into business thinking they can all figure it out themselves. We get a math tutor if we want to become an expert in math, or our child to become an expert. We pay $1,000 for a driving license because we know if we are not being trained how to drive, we're going to crash sooner or later. The same is true for starting your own business. Starting a business is not an easy task. It is complex. Starting a business in the context of Africa is even more challenging because you have so many markets and aspects to navigate through. So the biggest challenge, I would say, or the biggest mistake that businesses are making is not being aware of that and thinking, I have a great idea, I'm going to dive in and it's just going to work fine. That is going into a hope business and most people crash. That's just the reality of it. So I also want to change your mindset and make you aware of, you need a trainer, you need a consultant, you need someone who guides you through the thick forest of doing business in Africa. Now, what we have done today is we have come up with the fastest method I can think of doing business in Africa. The fastest and the easiest method, because we kind of took away all the aspects that make it cost intensive, time intensive, and risky. However, even there, in order to pull it off fast, I would highly suggest that you invest in a trainer, in a consultant, a coach. Get them anywhere you can get them. Or you work with me, with my help, in a group scenario where we have other go-getters in our Africa Business Academy, where we walk the talk and build businesses in real time. So I want to invite you to join us. It's very, very much common sense. It's a no-brainer for anyone in business, because people who are already successful all have consultants and coaches. It's the ones that are starting, the ones that are still struggling maybe financially, who do not have that success mindset, and therefore they are making decisions like the masses do. They want to save that small amount of money and want to try it on their own. That is a big mistake. That is why so many businesses fail. The other aspect then is that most businesses do not really understand the value of a product market match. And that is the reason why even those who make it very often struggle. They do not understand how to get a stronger product market match and how to position themselves uniquely so they become of higher relevance to the marketplace. The higher your relevance, the easier you will make sales. So that is just some knowledge I'm putting out there. Again, you can just take that and run with it. It was a pleasure serving you today. Or you can join our Africa Business Academy, my go-getter group, my membership group, where we are meeting on a weekly basis. You also get recordings if you can't make it during our Sunday meetings. And we walk you through your challenges in real time. And you get access to me and other coaches that will show you the right way. And the right way of doing business in Africa is cutting down time, risk, and related costs while making an amazing impact on the beautiful continent of Africa. Click the link below now and join our Africa Business Academy. I'll see you there.